you work with people with completely different experiences than you, right? Who was born and raised and grew up and lives and works in Ohio? Look around the room. Okay? You have a completely different experience of Ohio than we do, who finally got here, thank God. We got here. It's green, it's lovely, it's wonderful. When I got here, people said, why did you come here? Really? Right? Did they say that? Yeah. Really, go somewhere else, live other places, you'll go, oh, I've got to get back to Akron. Right?
That's true.
That's the truth, April. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
Okay, so how many of you born and raised left? Where are you? Born and raised left and came back. Okay. See? And you're thinking, thank God. I got back here. All right. See? So that's your first gear. It's the truth for you. Anyone who tries to tell you anything from their first gear, if it matches your first gear, you think they're brilliant. You can always tell if somebody somebody's lying, right? Because they say something and you're like, that's so not true. From your little planet, where everything you believe and think is the truth, just for you, not that. So you need a couple of extra gears, don't you, to have some more resourcefulness in communication. Second gear is a very fun gear that almost everybody has with people that they love. So, who in here has someone that they dearly, dearly love? Okay, and you just thinking about it makes you kind of feel good, right? So, they say something and you think, where did you get that? But the next thing you say is, okay, I don't get it, tell me, right? So you try and understand what they're experiencing, even though it's not your experience, because you love them, you try and think about, well, what could possibly be true about this for them to think it's right? And then you get another distinction, do you not? Now, somebody that you really don't like, or you don't know very well, says something that you think is completely insane. What do you do? That's so bogus. Really? I can't believe they think that. And we walk away. Right? So second gear is looking at it from the other point of view, which is really easy with people that we love. With people that we don't like so well, not so much. So one of the strategies is to take what we already do well with people that we love and use it on people that we don't like or don't know, and pause for just a moment and think to ourselves, what could actually be true about this for them to think it's right? Now, you might not agree with it. You don't have to agree with it. Second gear doesn't mean you agree. It just means you're willing to explore it, just like you do with someone that you really love. Make sense? The interesting thing is that when you do this in business, amazing things happen. Okay, so that's just 2 gears. Third gear is the objective gear. How many of you besides me remember Dragnet? Okay, I'm old. I got it. Okay, but just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts, the Joe Friday gear. Well, third gear is the objective gear. There's no emotion to it. You're looking at behaviors. You're stepping back from the emotion of something to lay it out and really look at all the pieces. So third gear is when you step back and think, okay, I'm acting like this, she's acting like this. How's that affecting the no on the go and stuff? Which you can't see in first gear, which is, I can't believe she's acting like that. Really? What does she think she's doing? And second gear, which is, I don't get what she's doing, but I know there must be something intelligent about it, because she's smart, she's in the know, really, she's got to be smart. So let me just say it. Now see, what you're watching me do is I'm using strategies. I'm just using strategies. You can do anything you want to, but my strategy is always, where's my power in this moment, and how can I keep moving? Okay? You won't be surprised to know that one of the abilities is to dance with whatever shows up. I didn't used to be a dancer, but the gears help me dance. So, third gear is to consider the possibilities, not your reality, not her reality, but just the larger reality that somebody who doesn't know either of you might be walking by and seeing. Now, here's where you do third gear in an interesting sort of way. This is how I learned it. So, you go to a restaurant and you see a woman and a man, and they're eating together. How can you tell if they're married? Because they're not talking. Okay, that's every time I ask that question, that's the question I get. So how can you tell if they're dating? They're holding hands, they're all, okay. Now, the interesting thing is, if you really want to freak people out, is those of you who are married, act like you're dating in a restaurant. It freaks people out. They see the wedding rings, they're like, wait, that is so wrong. But your first gear is your experience. Your third gear is what anybody would imagine from that behavior. Okay? Now, when you can step back and look at things, so third gear has no emotion. That one has a little bit more emotion, but it's just so fun to ask. I can't stop asking. So, first gear, all about you and your perception. Second gear, considering the perception of someone else, especially if it's different from yours. Third gear, stepping back from the emotion and considering what could possibly be happening just based on behavior. Not your emotion, not your connection to the other people. Does that make sense? Now, what questions do you have about the gears before we move to the next page? Any question? Or comment? Or anecdote? Breathing will help you. The camera will not come to your face, I promise you. You can ask a question and she'll keep the camera right on me. So now, do you have a question? Yes.
Sometimes I'm not sure, but maybe as a female, I think it'd be hard to keep in third gear instead of first gear, like getting the emotions involved. Does that make sense?
So what is so awesome, and will you tell me your name, please?
Ashley.
Ashley, how are you? And thank you for asking the question. That was very, very brave. So the first thing, let me repeat the question so we hear it and so it's on the tape without your face.